With Little Nightmares 2 available on Xbox Game Pass, the question is, does it still hold up in 2025, or is it better left in the past? Little Nightmares 2 is a creepy puzzle platformer where you play as Mono, a kid trapped in a twisted world full of terrifying adults and eerie environments. You're not alone though. Six, the girl from the first game, joins you through most of the journey. Together, you sneak, puzzle solve, and run for your life through places that feel straight out of a nightmare. This game doesn't throw horror in your face with jump scares. Instead, it builds atmosphere through visuals and sound. Think of it more as unsettling than terrifying. It's the kind of game that keeps you tense without being over the top. One of the biggest strengths of Little Nightmares 2 is the way it looks and feels. Every area, whether it's a decaying school, a flooded hospital, or a crumbling city, is packed with haunting details. Lighting plays a huge role here. Shadows creep across the screen, and every flicker of light feels meaningful. Even if you don't notice it right away, the environments do a lot of storytelling on their own. The characters and enemies, especially the tall, distorted adults, are pure nightmare fuel. The designs are weird in the best way, grotesque but fascinating. You'll remember them long after you put the controller down. Sound in this game isn't just background noise, it's part of the horror. The creaking floorboards, distant screams, heavy footsteps, and eerie silence all pull you in. The soundtrack knows when to stay quiet and when to spike your anxiety with sudden tension. If you're playing with headphones, you'll feel like you're right there with Mono and Six. Gameplay is mostly about sneaking, running, and solving puzzles. The puzzles aren't overly complex, but they do a good job of keeping things interesting. They blend naturally into the world, so it never feels like you're solving a puzzle just for the sake of it. There's also a good mix of stealth and chase sequences. Some moments are pure adrenaline, dodging enemies that are way too big and way too fast. But it's not always about running. You'll need to take your time, look around, and sometimes even use objects or shadows to hide and move forward. Having Six with you adds a nice layer. She helps open doors, gives you a boost, and sometimes acts on her own. It makes the world feel more alive and less lonely. But the game isn't perfect. One of the biggest problems you'll notice is the platforming. It can feel off at times. Mono sometimes misses jumps you thought were lined up perfectly, or he grabs the wrong ledge. The depth perception in 2.5D space can be awkward, especially during tense moments when timing matters. There are also moments of trial and error that get frustrating. You'll die, not because you made a mistake, but because you didn't know what was coming. Then you reload and do it again, this time with the knowledge. That can pull you out of the experience, especially if it happens often. There are a few sections where you're given a weapon, like a pipe or hammer, to fight back. These parts slow things down and feel clunky compared to the rest of the game. The swing animation is slow, and aiming it right takes some effort. It doesn't really fit the otherwise stealthy and escape-focused gameplay. Most players end up wanting those parts to be over quickly. If you're looking to replay Little Nightmares 2, there are collectibles like hats and hidden glitching remains to find. But for most players, this is more of a one-and-done experience. Still, the experience is memorable enough that you might come back just to revisit some of the standout moments or areas. Now that the game is on Xbox Game Pass, there's even more reason to give it a shot. You're not paying full price, so even if you only play through it once, you get a high-quality experience at no extra cost. Little Nightmares 2 still holds up in 2025. It's a unique horror platformer with amazing atmosphere, disturbing visuals, and clever puzzle design. Yes, the controls can be frustrating and some gameplay sections don't always hit the mark, but the overall experience is strong enough to make up for those issues. If you enjoy dark, eerie games that don't rely on cheap scares and you want something that's both emotional and creepy, this is an easy recommendation, especially if you already have Xbox Game Pass. Just be ready for a few moments where the game will test your patience. But if you push through, there's a chilling journey waiting for you. That's the full breakdown of Little Nightmares 2 in 2025. If you're thinking about trying it on Xbox Game Pass, now's a great time. Let the nightmares begin!